Hi guys, welcome back again. We are doing this again and again this year. It's the night. It's actually what time? It's actually what? Let us check. It's actually 9:55 p.m. of the 2nd of January 2025. I said this time round. We are studying this Bible like nobody's business, and we are doing it in Jesus' name. So, yes, so sorry for that. We are on episode 4, and we are still in the book of Genesis. We're just moving slowly by slowly, and now we are in chapter 4, which have got 26 verses. So read with me chapter 4, and it contains the story of mainly the story of Cain and Abel, and we're going to learn few things from this story and know much about this story of Cain and Abel. If you've not subscribed, if you've not shared, if you've not liked, kindly do so as we continue. Chapter 4, let's read. Adam lay with his wife Eve, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. She said, "With the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man." Later, she gave birth to his brother Abel. Now Abel kept flocks and Cain worked with the soil. So this tells us that Abel was a shepherd and Cain was a farmer. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruit of the soil as an offering to the Lord. But Abel brought fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering he did not look with favor. So Cain was very angry and his face was downcast. So this tells us that Cain did not bring his best fruits. On the other hand, Abel was genuine and he brought the best. But now Cain has become angry because the Lord has not looked into his offering with favor. Verse 6, then the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must master it." This also happens even in our daily lives. You do the wrong thing, or people do the wrong thing, then those who are doing the right thing, they get angry because God have shown them favor, or they have been favored. It can be at their workplace or anywhere else. There are people who really work hard, and you see that favor is just following them. On the other hand, there are people who do not do what is right, and you can imagine what happens. Then they are ever moody and annoyed and angry, yet it is them who brought things to themselves. Because if we learn to do what is right, then I don't see whether there is a time that we will not walk on favor. Let's continue. Now Cain, verse 8, said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out to the field." And while they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Look at what envy does. He was so jealous that it ate him up to the extent of killing his brother. It is not the first time that it happens. Even now, it started then, that your own blood, that your own brother can plan evil upon you just because you've been blessed by the Lord. Yet someone can choose right and also get blessed the same way. But now look at how jealous that Cain becomes and sheds the blood of his own brother. This is happening currently in the world. Siblings killing one another. Feeling bad, having negative energy towards the same person you were raised together. Let's continue. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" "I don't know," he replied. Am I my brother's keeper?" The Lord said, "What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are under a curse and driven from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it will no longer yield its crops for you. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth." So what Cain brought to himself, he got cursed. And he did this, he called his brother into the fields where no one would see, thinking that the Lord will not see. How many of us hide away from people and go sin, knowing very well that we are not accountable to those people, but we are accountable to God? And this is God who is omnipresent, who is all-knowing, who is everywhere, and we cannot hide things from him. So here Cain thinks he's very cunning, or he can hide things away from God, but God knows what is happening. Cain, verse 13, Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is more than I can bear. Today you are driving me from the land." Now he's lamenting on the punishment that he has been given. "Today you are driving me from the land." Today you are driving me from the land, and I will and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me. But the Lord said to him, "Not so. If anyone kills Cain, he will suffer vengeance 7 times over." Then the Lord put a mark on Cain so that no one who found him would kill him. So Cain went out from the Lord's presence and lived in the land of Nod, east of Eden. This is what sin does. It pushes us away from the presence of God. Even when someone sins, they are afraid even to face the Lord. You feel like going away from the presence of the Lord because guilt eats you up. Cain lay with his wife, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch. Cain was then building a city, and he named it after his son Enoch. To Enoch was born Irad, and Irad was the father of Mehujael, and Mehujael was the father of Methushael, and Methushael was the father of Lamech. Lamech married two women, one named Ada and the other Zillah. This is the first part where polygamous comes in. When Lamech married two women, one Ada and the other Zillah. Ada gave birth to Jabal. He was the father of those who live in tents and raise livestock. His brother name was Jubal. These are the sons of Ada, that is Jabal and Jubal. He was the father of all who play the harp and the flute. Zillah also had a son, Tubal-Cain, who forged all kinds of tools out of bronze and iron. Tubal-Cain's sister was Nama. Now this one has a son and a daughter. Lamech said to his wife, Ada and Zillah, listen to me, wives of Lamech. Hear my words. I have killed a man for wounding me, a young man for injuring me. If Cain is avenged 7 times, then Lamech 77 times. So even Lamech is afraid of God's vengeance. Look at what, when someone is annoyed, because Lamech maybe did this out of anger and killed a man who had injured him. Adam lay with his wife again, and she gave birth to a son, named him Seth, saying, God has granted me another child in place of Abel, since Cain killed him. Seth also had a son. Let me check on this Bible. Okay, let me see. Let us repeat that one again at verse 25. Adam lay with his wife again, and she gave birth to a son and named him Seth, saying, God has granted me another child in place of Abel, since Cain killed him. So Seth came as a replacement of Abel after Cain had killed the brother. And that is why Seth means an appointed substitute. So is appointed to replace Abel. At that time, men began to call on the name of the Lord. So that is all we have for chapter 4 of Genesis. And we've pointed out some few lessons on what anger can lead to. What anger can lead to, what envy and jealousness can lead to. So we should be very careful not to draw away from the presence of God because of simple things that we can be able to amend, and things that we can be able to forget about. And if we do things the right way, then we are going to get the favor from God. So let's not allow sin to push us away from the presence of God like it did to Cain. Let's love one another, even in our families and siblings. When someone is blessed, let us not be envious of them, and let us learn to appreciate what we have and give God the best. Whenever we are giving to God, let's give God the best, so that it will not come a time and we feel that we are not favored. If it is serving the Lord, serve the Lord with everything in the best way you can. If it is giving to the work of God, give the best, so that when it is the time for God to favor us, then he will favor us without looking back. Thank you for listening to me, and see you in the next episode. Subscribe and also remember to share. Thank you. Good night.